Hello, welcome to Alive to Thrive OT. I'm Lauren Lyman, and today I'm here with Shivani Butani, who is a sound healer, and she also serves her community in any way she can. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about her journey, what she does, how she does it, and how she can help you improve your health and your wellness. So Shivani, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So a little bit about myself, I guess. There's a lot of things that I do. So I've done like martial arts. I'm into art. I do yoga, meditation. And then honestly, I just like to grow in any way possible. So I don't really have a title to myself. I guess I'm just here to serve, and let's just see like where that takes me.
So what is your personal journey that brought you to everything that you do now? The sound healing, volunteering a lot in the community.
Yeah, so I guess like it all started when, see, every time I like say that word, I'm like, all started, then I like go back like 20 steps. So I guess like the breaking moment was definitely when I was working in corporate for like overly for a long time. So I was working like 80 hours, like 80 to like 100 hours a week, going door to door, business to business, just talking to people, connecting. And it sounds crazy, but I enjoyed that so much, and I had to dive deep in like what I loved about it. And I guess the biggest thing I loved about it was bringing out that leadership in me, to being able to serve people and really help people grow. So I was basically creating teams. It was really fun, because if you've ever done like commission like job, it's pretty much like your sweat equity is like what it's worth at the end. And I feel like that just like changed a lot about me. I started getting into leadership. I started loving myself. I became this confident person that I lacked a couple years ago, right before when I started that. So before that, I was actually like super depressed. I was suicidal, and you would have never guessed like that was me if you met me like 8 years ago. And that was like a really like something changed when I when I tried to like kill myself. I feel like what basically changed at that moment was I realized that there was like more to me than just like like what people put labels on me. And that gets you, like when people do like state you like you're this person, or you're meant to do this, and like you're gonna be a doctor, or you're a girl, or you're gonna get married to this specific person of this caste, or everything is just planned out for you. And you're just like, well, I'm looking at this life, and it looks like I don't really want to live this life, so I'm out. I was like, okay, what's next? This life is not worth it. So that pretty much like I know I'm like getting like all emotional. You're so good. That was a good question, Okay, so and like basically just like all changed for me, because while I was in rehab, I realized I'm like, that was pretty much, I just saw the end, and it couldn't have been worse than me like dying. And what it did, it kind of changed like perspective of people around me too. My dad just asked me for the first time, he's like, don't worry about like what anybody says, like what is it that you want to do? And I said the first thing I don't want to do is I don't want to go to school, because I felt like it just put a label to me in this like so many different ways, so much judgment, and I just couldn't like be myself in that like being put into a crowd. So I dropped out of college, and then I'm like, all right, what's next? And now it's like a brand new life for me. And it turned out like I got into sales, I got into marketing, and it really like brought out this confidence in me. And I guess like one of the biggest reasons is I had someone who cared how I performed, like completely like selflessly. So it changed for me, like completely changed, and I fell in love with just like talking to people, communicating, and I became this confident person who was not only able to like just put myself out there in front of people, but also teach others who have like zero experience in communicating with other people, or getting uncomfortable, or you know, building that work ethic, or you know, creating that student mentality, or maintaining that positive attitude after like being rejected like 100 times in a day. So I really found those skill sets very valuable. However, I just realized, like, after I learned the skill sets, I really wanted to put it in use for humanity. So I ended up going to Portugal, and I was actually very blessed. I had my best friend. He kind of like guide me through this journey, and like he honestly taught me what like self-love is, like all put together. And yeah, he just loved me so freely. He said, like, you know what, like, I don't care like what we do after this. I just want you to go experience this community of free love. And it's called Tamara. If you've never been there, it's really awesome. And I just loved it. It was a community full of people who just freely loved themselves to a point they allowed others to love themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that experience changed me for all. Like in 3 months, I ended up coming back to Illinois, and yeah, so I was like back in Illinois, and I went back to my parents' house, like this whole different person. Like my parents were like, who is this person? Like, you know, I wasn't even living at home before that. I was actually in California, New York, all these places. I finally came home after like 4 or 5 years to like my parents' house, and I told my brother, I'm like, you have to watch this. And we started out by watching The Secret, and it just like blew his mind. And yeah, now he's like, you know, ever since then, like we've been working like constantly on personal development. Him and I became best friends, and he plays this huge role on my journey. Like him and I, we support each other, and he's kind of like the yin to my yang, and basically because it's like unconditional love. Yeah. Like no matter what I do, like he knows like the deep inside of me, like who I am, and vice versa. So yeah, like, so we're on this journey, and we don't know where it's gonna lead, but one thing we know is it's full of love and acceptance, and we just want everybody to be part of it.
That's awesome. That's great. So it sounds like you obviously lead by example, and sounds like you have really empowered yourself to find happiness in this life. So that's amazing. How did you get into sound healing?
You know, it's a really funny story. I guess like so like sound, the universal sound is Om. So I've had this, like, you know, everyone has it in them. Everyone has this sound. We're all made of vibrations, and that's what sound is. So once like realizing like sound healing is really just healing yourself. It's self-love. It's self-healing. So like technically I got into like self-healing when I started loving myself. So that was the first step of just fully being able to accept me for me. Yeah.
That's great. So now you do classes, right, for sound healing?
Yeah, we do like community events. You know, we're just like in this teaching mode. We're teaching as many people as possible along the journey, and letting everybody know you don't really need to have this specific thing. It's just like just showing up and saying like, I'm going to take half an hour to an hour of my day just loving myself for myself, and be there in an environment where I'm going to be nurtured and loved. So that's like the community environment we're creating, where like I'm just giving everything I have and all my love energy to be part of this community, and just they're kind of like my babies. So I'm excited to see everyone grow that wants to grow. Yeah.
So is there anything else do you do any like one-on-one coaching or any other modalities that you use?
Yeah, like you know, it's like I just do like so much. It could be anything like that you would need. Like you can let me know what is it that you need, and most of the time it's just like someone to hold space for you. So I'm always there for that, and it could be in form of anything, because I've been in all spectrums. Like I've done martial arts, I've done like I do art. I'm an artist, music, dance. I can do like an aesthetic dance. I've done those. And then, you know, like all our five senses, anything that really resonates with you, like, you know, massages. Well, I don't, my brother does, but we're a team, so.
Yeah.
And yeah, just really like living this monk life in a really rich, like wealthy lifestyle.
Sounds great. Your journey is amazing. I would say I'm sorry. I would say I'm sorry you went through that, but it sounds like, I mean, everything happens for a reason. Everything played out because look at you now.
It's like rainbows and butterflies every day. I'm like literally living the best life.
Yeah.
I love it. I love every part of it. So I just wanted to give at this point.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you.
Is there anything else that you want to say to our viewers? Or
yeah, she's amazing. So, you know, whatever you're doing, and if you're here, and you know, like the fact that she's able to hold space for us, like this is just so amazing. So I would definitely say connect with her, and you know, I'm truly grateful. I already feel loved, and I barely know you, you know. So it's pretty awesome that we've connected, and I'm excited to see what we can create in so many ways.
Absolutely.
Like outside of everything. So yeah. Thanks for holding space. I'm so happy. Like, you know, like when you talk about yourself, sometimes like, all right, I'll do a podcast. Gives me a reason to talk about myself. But it helps. It's like a source of healing. Like, you know, when you're able to just talk about, like, you know, when someone asks a question and you're able to go all the way back, you're like, wait, that's not where it started. Oh, wait, it wasn't even that when it started. And then you like go really deep in and
reflecting on your journey.
Yeah. So thanks for holding space. And this is a beautiful thing you're doing. Like just like this, like podcast, like it's a beautiful way to give, because you just helped me heal. So I love you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. If you want to get in touch with Shivani, do you want to give them your email and I'll write it in at the bottom?
Sure. It's Shivani.Butani at Zenadime.com. You can, honestly, you can find us on Awake, you can find us on Zenadime, you can find us on, I'm sure like if we're meant to connect, we'll connect, so I'm not worried about it.
But I will put the links in the description if you don't want to leave it up to fate and you want to have a direct link so that you can connect.
How about call me? That's the best. Okay, so my number is 224-318-6065.
Okay.
So, thank you.
So thank you so much for being here. If you could please like our videos, share the video so we can get the word out about what Shivani can offer the world, and subscribe to our channel, sign up for alerts so you know when we post new videos, and just take care of yourself. We're wishing you spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental health and wellness. Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.